This is problem 7-43 from section 7.1.3 homework. It says solve log base 2 of x equals 2 to the x power using any method. So something we can consider, just like the previous problem, is just graphing the equation, even though this doesn't tell us to graph it specifically. But I have a log on one side and I have an exponential expression on the other side. So that's a lot of the time it's going to be difficult to try to solve that algebraically. So we might as well just go for the graph because that gets us the same answer without the struggle and the confusion that solving algebraically might bring. So what we want to do is type in both of these sides into our calculator. And we realize that 2 is the base. And then this other side. So we type both of those in just like the previous problem and see where they intersect. Now the problem is, some of us might not know how to type in log with a different base on it, since our calculator, the log button is log base 10. So something we could do first, before we type in these separate equations, is that we can solve the original expression. We can rewrite it in exponential form. So what we're going to do is start with the original equation. We're going to go around the world. This is in case we don't know how to type in log base 2. We didn't explain that specifically in class, how to do that, because it's not really necessary. We can change it into exponential first. So 2 raised to the x power gives me x. I'm going around the world. So 2 to this power gives me this answer. So now if I separate these two equations, y equals 2 raised to the 2 raised to the x, make sure our x is kind of a second exponent in the first equation. And then my second equation is y equals x. That's a really simple one to type in. So in our calculator, we're going to type in both of these equations. So 2 raised to the 2 raised to the x. So make sure you're doing all of those separately. And then the second equation is just regular x. And again, we're going to graph these and see where they intersect. Okay, so one of my methods is to graph to solve it with a graph. So I know I had an exponential function. That was the 2 raised to the 2 to the x was the first one. And y equals x should just be the line right here. So again, we're looking for solving this. So we want to get x equals something. And we want to see where they intersect. Now, if we look at this graph right here, and even if I zoom out a little bit, where does the blue and the red cross? Well, originally it didn't look like it crossed anywhere. So let's see if zooming out helped a little bit. So my y equals x. And I know from where it was zoomed in that they didn't cross in the center. Okay, so they don't really intersect anywhere. So what this means is I really have no solution, or no real numbers are going to be my solution. So my answer, where did they intersect, or what is the solution, is going to be no real numbers is going to be my answer here. Okay. Because there's no real numbers that work for this, we may learn some other things coming up soon that are called things that are not real numbers, which may help us with our solution, but as of right now, there's really no solution for problem 7-43. Okay? So we can graph to double check our solution, and we get nothing. They don't cross anywhere.